So Wellington did his turn, and surprisingly, he's continuing to push forward in the centre. He was subject to some intense cannon fire there as he approached, but it's all bunched up. Look at that. He took out a skirmisher line. He did set up his guns on this side of the river. Have a look what they can see. Not a bad position for them. Counter battery fire did account for one of his guns, luckily enough. And it still looks like he's drawing his left in to attack this centre. I don't think a human player would do this. The nuances of the AI definitely kicking in here. What did appear though is some Spanish cavalry that we didn't see before on the left. So it looks like those Spanish troops are withdrawing. They're a bit afraid. So we're going to be chasing rather than attacking, I would have thought. It all looks like everything for him is in the centre. The Spanish went up to join the British advance guard for some reason. And I think that was pretty much it. We didn't take many casualties at all. They didn't attack this artillery up here. So we can go ahead and do our turn, I suppose. Start up in the top left, do it nice and methodically. And we can start to bring this line round to the west now, ready for that sweep. So I put out my skirmisher line. Got some skirmishers up here as well. And start to sweep west. I've got skirmishers with them as well, so they can come out and go down there. Ruffin in the middle. Now I don't know if this was the best place for this artillery after all that, but we'll have a look what they can see. They can see a unit. Hopefully that's within their arc of fire. So we'll have a crack at them when we can. I mean, what I could have done there is actually limbered that gun to get it into a better position, but we thought we'll start the attack there and get some artillery fire on them. So bring them. That gun's under no threat at all, so I can start to bring these troops forward as well. Because this cavalry can now cross over the river. Oh, disordered, never mind. Can start to cross over the river. And also start to veer west. Going to leave these guys in situ for a second. Might put out a skirmisher line just to protect them, just in case the Spanish do turn back around to the east. And we'll make them some skirmish as well. So just to protect our main body troops. We're not ready for them yet. They're in position as these guys actually swing round. Then we can start to bring these guys into the action as well. So as I said, it's all going off in the centre. Now, unbelievably, I don't think any human player would do this. It's okay, Wellington is on the attack, fair enough. What he forgets is I've got quite a good defensive position on my side of the river as well. What turned out to be a position to cover my attack has actually turned into quite a nice defensive position. So I'm going to have a crack at some line troops in here. Oof. That's heavy. They're firing canister shot and ripping through the ranks. They're going to get another blast from 8 heavy guns. Oof. I think, if I'm not mistaken, somebody was actually wiped out there. Look at the numbers, how much they've diminished. Lethal. Absolutely lethal. Skirmishers are going to get in on the act as well. Skirmishers against skirmishers. I still have line troops in here, and I'm going to put them from column into line just because they're on the high ground. They're going to go into 3 lines as the French did, and now we can start to fire in line formation on these troops as well. Now, if I want to decide who we want to fire against, actually have a look at that stack again. King's German Legion have got 100 troops. The American Rifles have got 100 as well, so they're my 2 best targets. So we'll go there and have a crack at these. They're skirmishers. Better to have a go at the main body. Do the same with these guys, into line formation. And have a crack. I dare say they're going to be broken. They'll be very brave troops if they're still there to start the next turn. Look at me see with this horse artillery. Lots of troops bunched up everywhere. Got 100 men there. I will have a crack at them because they're disordered as it is. Quite proud of where this battery turned out, to be honest. So that's not facing that target, but we can have a go at them. And we'll have a go at them with this battery. Alright, come out of that. So if I want to see who's actually fired, then come up here, press that little red button, and see all our batteries have actually fired that are here. I will bring those troops around just to give a little bit of protection to that battery as well. And I'll put them into line formation, because if he's pressing home this attack in the centre, we're going to need him there. Get these artillery forward and unlimbered as we can with this battery here. I'm going to leave them facing that direction just because this battery is covered by these two batteries in its rear for these guys actually coming up here. And we've got a large body of troops that we can attack with there as well. So I'm not too worried about this battery being where it is. What I will do though, just in case these guys decide to attack the east and attack that battery, is put them into line formation. And to give myself a little bit more protection, put out some skirmishers. So we can't use that battery because it's not a horse artillery. What we can do is fire these guys. Hopefully they'll be able to see these guys here. Counter battery. These guys have another go. Oof, lethal. And I think we're going to have to start bringing some troops in just to bolster this on the right hand side, or in the centre here. Put them into line. Don't have enough, but I will put them into line in a second. Bring these guys round. Now they're going to be protected, so use them just in case the British do decide to break through. And bring them forward here as well. So we've got quite a strong position here. A madman for attacking it in my opinion, but there we go. Bring that supply wagon into that little crevice there. So we do have some skirmishers that are routed. And who's my officer in charge here? I can't remember where I put him now. Leaders on top. Up here. Okay, so he is 2nd Brigade. I want my leaders. He will eventually sort himself out. I'm not going to send a leader back all the way just to deal with some skirmishers that didn't have the balls to stay on the front line. My leader is better suited leading from the front. So Puthor is there. Okay, fairly happy with that. Okay. Anytime we can come up here, info, have a look at leader casualties. So we can see we've got a brigadier, von Langworth, but all our leaders are still on the field, intact and aren't casualties. Happy days. Bring that cavalry around to this high ground as well. Nice and protected up there. Bring them across there. And start to swing these troops down as well into here. Okay, bring them forward on the front line, bring them forward as well. Supply wagon, and these guys down. So we're starting to get a massed formation a little bit now. These guys into the wood just to give them a little bit of protection. That's no problem, it means we've got concentration in force. If we can break his centre that's attacking us, it's hopefully going to make our job a little bit easier on that left flank, especially if he's drawing everybody in. They're all going to crumble. What we may get left with is a lot of units that are just sort of hodgepodge here, there and everywhere that we have to deal with, but we'll see what we actually get if and when we get there. Bring them forward as well. So Jourdan, we want you somewhere in the centre, round about there. Supply wagon, not doing too bad on supply. We'll bring that supply wagon to the 2nd Division up there somewhere. What we got here? So this advance guard, they're sort of to and froing, and he set up his artillery there, facing his own troops. Never mind. If I can nab this ground here at the front line of the trees, at the edge of the forest here, that's quite a nice position, so I might try that. We'll see. Just to show our face at the edge of the woods, you might have a reaction to it and bring some troops forward. Again, got safety in numbers, definitely around here. Bring that forward as well. However, can carry on his cavalry down into this nice blind spot just in case. And then this other blind spot down here as well. Bring that supply wagon down out of the way somewhere here. Carry on with the guard, bringing them down to the south. And we'll bring the garrison down as well. Just by looking at it, I might change my plan a little bit because we've got, or we will have in a few turns, a rather large force on the Spanish left, just north of Talavera, around here. Potentially, we may have enough to keep a reserve and to press home an attack, especially if it's fairly weak in this area, around north of Portina. Break the Spanish left, then sweep onto Talavera itself. Like I said, the Spanish, I would have thought, would crumble relatively straightforward, relatively easily, especially compared to the British. They're definitely my biggest concern. As long as we still have a reserve to deal with anything in case that attack doesn't actually press home and achieve its objectives, we'd still have a reserve there. But we may have to also bolster this gap in the middle. All that's protecting that road there in the forest is these skirmishers. But that's what skirmishers will do. They'll give us pre-warning of anybody that attacks there, and we can bring troops down from the north or up from the south to cover that gap. At the minute, I want concentration in force. So that's the situation at the end of that turn. We've moved everybody. We're continuing that sweep in the north. We've got our second division poised to join in that attack once the first division have swept round. In the centre, he's a madman for attacking me. We're in quite a nice position. We're quite strong, and we're just bringing more and more troops in, and it's going to turn into hopefully a counter-attack in the centre. Maybe a little bit before I had initially anticipated. But all it's doing, or all he's doing, is allowing me to take quite a few of his troops out and weaken him before I can press my counter-attack.